Brighton was hosting Manchester United today. Brighton won 1-0. McAllister scored on penalty, pretty much the last kick of the match. 96th minute, I think it was. 1-0 for Brighton. Now, the game on its own was very entertaining. It was an open game. Both teams played in an attractive football, I would say. Although I didn't understand the game plan for Man United. They kind of, we look at the lineup, you see Manchester United the way. They usually play that 4-2-3-1. I think maybe that's how they even that's what they even played today. But it just feels like they were bypassing the midfield a lot. They didn't really use Casemiro or Fred a lot in transition. Neither did Bruno Fernandes really. It felt like they were going straight from defense to offense right away. Also, Brighton had the same setup today. But I think that's what made the game pleasant, to be honest. It wasn't a midfield battle. It wasn't too grimy. It wasn't too tough on the midfield. It was from offense to defense right away. You can see a lot of long ball, of direct crosses, direct passes. But even that though, I think Man United, they lost the ball a lot. I mean, you can see when you look at the stat line. Really, what's the stat line? When you look at the stat line, really, now it's one thing. I don't mind 60-40 possession, but here's my problem. If you're United, you can't have 374 passes and 75% pass accuracy. When Brighton is outpassing you, they have 562 and 86. And that's way more passes than you, and their accuracy as well. That means you didn't pressure them enough when they had the ball. They were able to do pretty much whatever they want with the ball. Like for that many passes, that many possession and accuracy, that means they had the ball, and you guys, the midfield, that's what I'm saying. I'll go back to my midfield hypothesis. The midfield was not really used a lot today as far as grinding the ball. But Casemiro and Fred. Now, Bruno Fernandes, it's not really his job to go get the ball off, but he's part of the pressing. They didn't press enough to win the ball, and it was too much outside play. The midfield was not really involved, so getting back the ball and then organizing. He was really attack and defense. So I'm not complaining really, because that's what made the game look the way it did, it was a nice game to see. I mean, right off the bat, Anthony could have scored. I think it was the 19th second. Right off the bat, he had this great opportunity. I think it was Marcus Rashford or Martial that gave him the ball. He's coming from the right hand side to the left with his left foot. Perfect pass, perfect waiting, and he completely missed it. And that's pretty much how the game went. United had the opportunity. 1, 2, 3 passes, they were in the box, and they missed it. Martial had one of them. I think Rashford also had one of them. And also Brighton, I think it was, third minute? Before the 5th minute, really, they had the opportunity. Big mistake from Manchester United defense, and they found themselves 2 against De Gea. And of course, my boy, instead of passing the ball, trying to be a hero, and De Gea made a save. It could have went either way. It could have been 1-0, could have been 1-1, 2-2 at the half. But it really was a nice game. Now, if you see the score 1-0, the goal was scored at the penalty at the 96th minute, you might say that was a boring game or not an interesting game. It was far from that. It was very open. A lot of running behind from Brighton. A lot of grinding. I mean, McAllister, really the best, the player of the match. I'm going to say McAllister. I was going to say De Gea, but yet again, his team lost. But he made some huge save on De Gea. Another thing that I noticed, right off the gate, whenever I saw the lineup, you can tell Manchester United wanted to play counter-attack, and that's what I don't understand. If you're Man United, you go into Brighton, you should be the team dominating the ball. You should have the ball and press and push them to make mistake in their own 6-yard box. But instead, even the setup, when you see Rashford, Martial, and Anthony, you can tell it's going to be a counter-attack style play. You can tell they're going to get the ball, direct passing, running behind. Like these three, none of them is a possession heavy type. I guess Anthony, he keeps the ball, but they're not a possession type player. They want to run behind you. And when I saw Martial especially, I kind of knew what was going on. Because as much as I think Martial is more talented than Van Horst, if you had Van Horst in here, he can hold the ball even better and get Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, and Anthony involved. He can hold the ball. He's really good at it. He can hold the ball and pass it. That gives you more possession ball. But I just think Ten Hag, for some reason, wanted to have a setup like this and play counter-attack the whole game. And that was kind of annoying to me to see. And also, one thing that jumped out at me was Luke Shaw. Why is Luke Shaw playing central defender when you have Harry Maguire here? Now, taken, you can make a you can make a case that Maguire, whenever he even plays, is phantomatic. Nobody sees him anyway, so might as well not play. Now, okay, I get the joke. It makes sense because he's been playing poorly, but still, he's still a central defender. He was one of the best Premier League central defender not long ago. Why would you have Luke Shaw in a central defender when you have Maguire? Unless Maguire was injured, which I don't think he was. But why you have him here and play Luke Shaw central defender? Didn't make sense. Now, Luke Shaw played kind of a solid game, but he was the one that caused the penalty with his handball. Now, maybe that has nothing to do with positioning because it was a corner. But still, you got to have a central defender if you have one available. Maybe Luke Shaw would have been more useful on that left-hand side anyways for better crosses. Now, Dallo played a good game. I'm not knocking on him, but I'm just saying. Like, Luke Shaw would have been better served playing his position. Also, Anthony, kind of surprised he finished the game. He could have gotten a red card with that nonsense. He started, I think it was 70th minute or 68th minute. He thought I think he got fouled. The ref didn't call it, but that's not a reason to kick another player just because the ref didn't call it and start a fight. I should have gotten at least a yellow card. I think he should have gotten a red card because he went in to hurt the other player. He was not going from the ball. He was upset that the ref didn't give him the foul, and you can't try to hurt another player like that just out of the ref not giving the call. If you're gonna hurt somebody, get the ref. He didn't do anything to you. So I thought that was kind of weird. Not weird, but I thought it was should have got a yellow card at the very least, and a red card. To me was the best thing he would have gotten. I know he got a yellow card, but to me he should have got a red card. Also, Welbeck played well. I would say Welbeck is kind of quietly having a really good season. I mean, he kind of went to no man's land after he left big clubs and he came to Brighton. But he's playing Van der Horst / Martial. He's basically playing a hybrid role between Martial and Van der Horst at once. He was very good today. So Caicedo was good, but McAllister was outstanding. So Man United losing to a direct, contender really, because Brighton is really the team that's coming after you. Brighton and Liverpool are coming after your fourth spot. Since you're not catching Arsenal, if you're United, you might pass Newcastle though. Actually, you could have passed Newcastle today, but especially since next game in the Premier League starting again Saturday, City plays Leeds United, Bournemouth hosts Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea win that game. I mean, if Lampard can't win at Bournemouth, like what are we doing? Like what is he doing there if he can't beat Bournemouth? You got to be able to beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth is 13. They're right behind you in the league. Dude, you gotta win. You gotta win against Bournemouth. No more excuses. And then Tottenham hosts Crystal Palace. Wolves face Aston Villa. I think it's gonna be a good game, open game. Aston Villa has been very good lately. And this season, though, I'm gonna say it's been very good because what's his face? The Spanish coach. Unai Emery doing a very good job with them. They play an attractive football actually, and they're facing Wolves at home. It's gonna be the same as Man United and Brighton. It's gonna be open game. And I think Aston Villa might get a win on that one. Also, Liverpool-Brentford is going to be an open game still on Saturday. Two teams that plays really well. I think Liverpool should win the game, although you can't count off Brentford. The ninth, the solid team. They play counter-attack. They play well together. Boy, Evan Toney and Bemo, shout out to them. But Liverpool got to win their home. And they're chasing Man United, really. If you're chasing Man United and you have one game more than United, you can't afford losing game at this particular time. And Sunday, we have the game that everybody's waiting for. Newcastle hosting Arsenal. Arsenal, after defeating Chelsea 3-1 earlier this week on Tuesday, I think it was, they're still hoping. Mikel Arteta was saying on the press conference that he hasn't given up. I mean, that's duh. Nobody expects you to give up now. But I think he's trying to put the message on this guy. We can still win it for real and not just something you just say because you have to say it. So in order for them to do that, they got to win all their remaining game, and they got the hope that Manchester City drops point somewhere. Especially City has a game in hand. That's the difficult part. So essentially, City is 4 points clear of them. Let's say the City is facing Leeds anyways, and City is going to be the lead. They're going to be at home. It's going to be an easy game. Now it might not be as a easy game as I think it will be, just because right after that there's Champions League. I still think City's going to beat them. Even with the B squad, City's going to beat Leeds United. I mean, Leeds is just 17th in the league. City can literally play the reserve and still win that game at home. So, Arsenal are going to keep the pace, win all the games, and the hope that City drops point. And then West Ham facing United. United has to win that game though. Like I say, they gotta win. This is not time to play around. You've been chased by Brighton and by Liverpool, especially since Brighton has a game in hand too on you. So Brighton can essentially be at 58 at like 5 point of view when all said and done. Don't be dropping point, United. Now, it seems like United can hold the fort until the season over and still remain fourth, but it's not necessarily guaranteed, so they gotta make sure. And then on Monday, Fulham hosts Leicester City. Brighton goes to host Everton. Brighton, again, they should win that game. Everton is basically another Chelsea. Like, they're 19 in the league. I don't know what's going on with the team in blue, but Chelsea and Everton suck. And Brighton hosting Everton. Brighton should win that game. I'm going to say easily, unless something major happen. But Brighton, if they play the way they play today, it's going to be an easy win against Everton, which means United is going to be careful in their match. And then Nottingham Forest plays Southampton. So that's relegation talk. Nottingham is 18th, playing Southampton. It was dead last in the league. So yeah, that's it for the Premier League.